we've come out because we are tired. We are tired of seeing innocent priests getting beheaded. We are tired of seeing churches being burned down. We have fathers being raped within Ethiopia. Today is Easter for Americans. For anybody else that follows the Gregorian calendar. Yet Christians are being prosecuted in Ethiopia. Innocent civilians being burnt alive. Christians all around the world should have rallied today. Christians all around the world should be crying today. Ethiopia bleeds. Orthodox Tewahedo bleeds. The Ethiopian Orthodox community is being wiped off of this earth. We are facing genocide. We have Christians losing their lives every single day, and the world is silent. It breaks my heart to see Christians all around the world share what's going on in Palestine. People are dying in Palestine, that's correct. People are dying in Israel, that's correct. But what about Ethiopians? What about the East African country everybody has chosen to ignore? What about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church? Where is the international media today? President Biden, we've been coming out week after week. Washington, D.C. is heavily populated by the Ethiopian community. We own businesses. We are strong working people. We are a hard-working community. Our churches preach peace and love. We are a community of love. We come out here today in peace.
I am genuinely asking this question. Why does no one care about Armenia? You want proof of this? Just switch on BBC News or CNN and you will hear the same countries being mentioned day after day. Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, China, and rightfully so. But for some reason, there are things that are happening right now in Armenia that would make you lose sleep. And 99% of you are totally clueless. I will show you the incredibly corrupt reason why the Western news stations are barely touching this subject. Now, this is the corrupt part. The Western oil companies noticed this problem and provided a solution. They would build an oil pipeline that would run right through Europe, providing fuel and energy to millions across the continent. And we in the West are also reliant on Azerbaijan gas, with companies investing 45 billion to construct a gas pipeline which again sources a huge amount of Europe. So now do you see why Armenia is not only hopeless against Azerbaijan, but also voiceless now? With an oil and gas cash flow under their belts, it's no surprise that for 14 years between 2000 and 2014, Azerbaijan held the title of the fastest growing economy. And where do you think they poured their wealth into? More advanced tools to make them unbeatable. And with the West literally investing billions into Azerbaijani oil so that they get richer, is it any wonder that they have turned a blind eye to everything that is going on? Because they're not stupid. They know if they start speaking out and our news stations start reporting on this situation, is all Azerbaijan has to do is say, that's it, the deal's off. Get your oil from somewhere else. And that's why it's down to average Joes like you, like me, to start caring about little Armenia, the country that no one cares about. Okay, I've got a bit of a confession to make to you. I've not been entirely honest here, because the truth is this: there is one person who cares about Armenia, and that's God.
Well, now let's head to New York City, where the Statue of Liberty was hit by lightning. This picture was taken during the storms yesterday. The lightning bolt seems to have directly hit and come out of Lady Liberty's torch there. So I don't know, you can almost take it in two different ways. Lightning coming from the sky and hitting the torch, or maybe the torch was just firing up a big strong bolt to the sky. Either way, though, it does look like it's going to be one of those stunning times for many photographers to remember, as it looks like a couple different versions here captured, but really neat sight nonetheless.
Told you that there's a possibility that the Statue of Liberty is actually a statue dedicated to Lucifer. The left is a painting made in the 17th century, known as Satan summoning his legion. Now, the devil's original name in the Bible was known as Lucifer, or in Hebrew, Helel, which means the light bearer or the bringer of light. Now, the Statue of Liberty is holding a torch. It's bearing the light. Now, the Statue of Liberty looks awfully similar to the Colossus of Rhodes. Now, the Colossus of Rhodes was one of the ancient wonders of the world. It was a bronze Greek statue. It was about 108 feet tall. And just like the Statue of Liberty, the Colossus of Rhodes has a crown of light. It's holding a torch. This statue was dedicated to the Greek god Helios, the god of the sun, the god of the light. In fact, many Luciferians refer to the devil as the great light. And this painting of Satan summoning his legion looks awfully similar to the face of the Statue of Liberty. I mean, take a look. Looks pretty similar to me. But it's just a theory. Who knows?
Tonight with the breaking news, the aftershocks felt just moments ago in New York City and beyond after that earthquake hit this morning, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake that struck at 10:23 this morning in White House Station, New Jersey, right between New York City and Philadelphia. These aftershocks moments ago registering a 4.0, almost as big as the earthquake itself. Now, the earthquake this morning rocking millions from Maryland right up to Maine, triggering confusion at first and then alarm, ground stops at New York airports. The epicenter in New Jersey, some 40 miles west of New York City, 60 miles north of Philadelphia, the strongest in the area in more than 100 years. You can see the shaking in the live stream from the EarthCam webcam right at the top of the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor. That was quite something. And the rumbling, you can see it and hear it in this home in Middlesex, New Jersey. Pictures shaken off the walls, falling to the floor. A startled dog jumping from the window on the back of the couch there. Customers rushing out of a coffee shop. This was in Boonton, New Jersey. And the moment of confusion during a live-streamed event from New Jersey, taking off the headset there, not knowing what was going on.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
It will be from starvation and malnutrition. This indecision and inaction is a choice, and choices have consequences. Severe malnutrition is not a quiet or painless death. As children get hungry, their bodies weaken, their muscles waste, their vision blurs, immune systems fail. Organs fail, hearts stop. At this stage, children are too weak to cry.
We have the mayor now of Lebanon, New Jersey, joining us by phone again. Lebanon, New Jersey, the epicenter of this earthquake. James Pittenger, Mayor Pittenger, thank you so much for taking the time. Talk to us about what you experienced there at the epicenter.
Yes, quite frankly, just still a little shaken up here. I was working from home today and had some work going on outside my house, and I'm like, what the heck did those guys do? Because everything just started falling off the shelves and just got a pretty big rattle and a pretty big scare. My dog ran for cover. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
And so things actually fell off the shelves at your place. What other damage are you learning of in your area?
We're just doing an assessment now. I haven't heard of any significant damage right now. So I was just talking to our borough hall. So they're right now going into the process of seeing if there's any other damage. And we do have a reservoir right in our backyard too. So there's some concern with that as well. So.
Okay, and we're just getting another update. It is back to being a 4.8 earthquake, the official word from the U.S. Geological Survey. Mayor, you said it shook you up, literally. Have you experienced this before? We know earthquakes aren't certain common, super common.
Yeah, never. I've lived here for 30 years, and I've never experienced anything like that. I had no idea what it was. Like I said, having some work done at the house, so I thought that they had hit something outside or did something, because it literally shook the walls and knocked stuff off the shelves. So it was quite a, just a crazy experience.
I feel it coming. I feel it coming, baby. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, baby.
Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious sake.
We love you more.
We love Saudi Arabia. The king is my friend, the crown prince is my friend, who's now the prime minister, crown prince, and everything else. And he deserves to be, but they're great friends of mine, and they're great people. And it's an honor to have so many Saudis. I just spoke to Yasser, and I said, we have so many Saudis today. It's so nice to see that. They love us, and we love them, and it's an honor to have you all. Thank you very much for coming.
We are going to be signing numerous countries in the not too distant future, so that would be great. While you are on the phone, could I ask you, how is the dam doing in Ethiopia? The largest dam in many, many years being built. Unfortunately, it stops water from flowing into the Nile, which causes Egypt a little bit of a problem, right? As it should. But Ethiopia built a dam. You know all about it probably, Bibi, but I've been dealing with Sudan on that. And I'm just curious, how is that going? Because you're really the third party involved with Ethiopia and Egypt and the dam. Are they working out their deal? Because I had a deal done for them. And then unfortunately, Ethiopia broke the deal, which they should not have done. That was a big mistake. And we've stopped payment to them of a lot of aid because they did it. And they will never see that money unless they adhere to the agreement. But they built a dam which stops water from flowing into the Nile. And you can't blame Egypt for being a little bit upset. Yeah, if you would, because I had a deal done, and then they broke the deal, and they can't do that. They can't do that. So the deal was done, and it's a very dangerous situation because Egypt is not going to be able to live that way. And they'll end up blowing up the dam. And I said it, and I say it loud and clear. They'll blow up that dam, and they have to do something. Thank you very much, everybody. And we have to save our country. God bless you all. God bless you all. And I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. And I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen.
What if we could help end a genocide?
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2019 has been awarded to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali.
Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, winner of the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, had launched military operations in Tigray in November last year.
On November 4th, 2020, Abiy Ahmed cut off Tigray from the world by shutting down phone, internet, electricity, banks, and basic services. This genocidal war on Tigray is happening in the dark.
We have corroborated information of gross human rights violation abuses.
Alleged mass killing of several hundred people.
We are seeing very credible reports of human rights abuses and atrocities.
Abductions and sexual violence against women and girls.
This is part of a campaign that's being intentionally waged against the women of Tigray.
Sexual violence is used by soldiers as a way to fight this war.
Well, it's chaos here.
Doesn't mean a thing. I mean, I'm going to tell you about the Nobel Peace Prize. I'll tell you about that. I made it.
We have, as you know, forces from Eritrea that are there, and we have forces from an adjoining region, Amara, that are there. They need to come out, and a force that will not abuse the human rights of the people of Tigray or commit acts of ethnic cleansing, which we've seen in Western Tigray, that has to stop. We also need full accountability. We need to get an independent investigation into what took place there.
Human Rights Watch claims Saudi authorities have killed hundreds of Ethiopian migrants crossing the border from Yemen. CNN's Salma Abdelaziz has details.
A deeply disturbing report released on Monday by Human Rights Watch alleges that Saudi border guards killed at least hundreds of Ethiopian migrants and asylum seekers attempting to cross the border from Yemen into Saudi Arabia between March of 2022 and June of this year. The more than 70-page report, again released by Human Rights Watch, is based, the organization says, on interviews with more than 40 individuals, some 38 of them themselves migrants, asylum seekers who attempted to cross the border. Human Rights Watch says it also conducted a review and assessment of some 350 pieces of video and imagery, and also assessed extensive satellite images from the region. Together, Human Rights Watch says that this work found or paints a pattern of widespread and systemic violence by Saudi border guards against groups of migrants, Ethiopian migrants and asylum seekers attempting to cross into Saudi Arabia, again, from Yemen. The accounts are absolutely harrowing. More than 24 individuals describing explosive incidences, so the use of rockets, mortar fire, gunfire by Saudi border guards. Some survivors describing Saudi border guards asking them which limb they would prefer to be shot before shooting them at close range.
We love
Saudi Arabia.
We love you more. We love Saudi Arabia. The king is my friend. The crown prince is my friend. There's now the prime minister, crown prince, and everything else. And he deserves to be. But they're great friends of mine, and they're great people. And it's an honor to have so many Saudis. I just spoke to Yasser, and I said, you know, we have so many Saudis today. It's so nice to see that. They love us, and we love them. And it's an honor to have you all. Thank you very much for coming in, Gary.
Despite constantly complaining that it's his court appearances that are keeping him off the campaign trail, Donald Trump is set to host another golf tournament this weekend. This one for a league funded by the Saudi Arabian government. At Trump Doral in Miami, Florida, amateurs and professionals will tee off later today for a live golf event. It comes as questions persist about conflicts of interest regarding Trump's political and business relationships with Saudi Arabia, which just happens to be where he made his first foreign trip as president, to Riyadh. According to the New York Times, Trump also recently spoke with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, for reasons that are not yet clear. And the same wealth fund that is bankrolling Live Golf also gave $2 billion to an investment firm run by Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, just months after the family left the White House.
Things aren't looking good for Aussie F1 driver Daniel Ricciardo, who's crashed out of the Japanese Grand Prix on the opening lap. He collided with Williams driver Alex Albon, which ended both their races and brought out the red flag.
Lighten up now.
Crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
Okay, now this is bonkers because billions of bugs are going to emerge out of the ground on April the 8th.
Well, get ready, Chicago.
We're not talking about the eclipse. Two broods of cicadas.
Cicadas. We're set to see billions, possibly even more cicadas this spring.
What makes this rather unusual is that both broods are emerging during the same year.
We used to call them locusts.
It has just been revealed that during America's much anticipated eclipse, something else incredible is about to happen. Billions and billions of cicadas are going to burst out of the earth after being dormant for over 13 years. But listen to me, this event has not happened for over 200 years. But there is another event that has got the entire internet talking, and it's also going to happen on the 8th of April, but personally, I'm not so sure what I make of it. There are 3 big theories surrounding the solar eclipse, which will go across 13 states, and it will last for 4.5 minutes, and all of this will happen in a matter of days on April the 8th. Now, as usual, as I share these theories, just know that I am not endorsing them in any way just yet. I'm just sharing the information, and a bit later on, if you are willing to listen to a little British guy like me, if you're willing to listen to my unpopular theory on all of this, well, please stick around. Okay, firstly, the Goliath theory. Never before in US history have Americans ever seen 2 eclipses cross over. So we had the eclipse that happened in 2017, but this eclipse in 2024 will cross over and meet in one town. And again, there are various debates on who this special town is. But according to our Goliath theorists, they claim the town is Makanda. And next to Makanda is Giant City State Park. So again, just to reiterate, this is their theory and not mine, but they are claiming that this entire eclipse is a cover-up so that the powers that be can remove certain Goliath-like beings which have apparently had many sightings in the Giant City State Park. And they say what backs up their theory even more is all the way back in February, mainstream weather stations predicted heavy cloud cover on April the 8th, which is obviously a very interesting prediction because it's not often you hear the weathermen making predictions 2 months in advance. But for now, over to you. Do you think their theory is correct that all of this eclipse is just one big cover-up? Well, I'm not so sure, so let's hear our second theory. A number of years ago, a woman called Anna Maria Tadjai predicted that there would be 3 days of total darkness in the future, just like what happened previously in the land of Egypt. Like the Bible, it says this: "Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven, and there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, darkness which may even be felt." So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. However, Anna took it further. She said that there will be no light on the earth whatsoever apart from the light from candles. And she even said that all the unbelievers will be finished during this time of darkness. I'm not going to lie to you guys, the only reason I'm mentioning this right now is because it's actually trending on the internet. But personally, I don't think that this prediction is worth entertaining whatsoever. Why? Because the Bible speaks nowhere of there being 3 days of darkness, and as this darkness falls, suddenly all the unbelievers will be finished. No, the Bible says that the unbelievers, they will perish, they will be judged, but only when Jesus Christ returns, not because of a solar eclipse. We are running out of options fast, so that only leaves us with our final theory, the Jonah theory. Now guys, again, I'm going to be super honest with you. There are a lot of Christians that have mixed opinions on this particular theory. Jesus Christ said, no one will know the day, no one will know the hour, not even the angels in heaven will know when the Son of Man will return. So I want to just reiterate this point very emphatically one more time. As I give you this information, that doesn't mean I'm agreeing with it. I'm just keeping you in the loop. And a little bit later on, I, as a little British Christian, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. The Jonah theory draws from another theory by the biblical scholar and archaeologist Donald Wiseman. He spent much of his life studying ancient Assyria, and what we do know is that during the reign of the Assyrian king Jeroboam, he reigned between the years 786 and 746 BC, not BCE. During this time, there was a very notable eclipse called the Debre Zeit. Now, because we know from 2 Kings 14 verse 25 that Jonah prophesied during Jeroboam's reign, Donald Whiteman has speculated that this eclipse could have happened when Jonah arrived in Nineveh. You probably know where we're going with this right now, because Jesus Christ had a rebuke for all those people who were desperately seeking a sign from God. He said, no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. In my opinion, there is a big issue with us saying that a solar eclipse is the sign of the prophet Jonah. But right now, let's just stay with this theory. Some Christians are stating that the solar eclipse on April the 8th could be the catalyst to many end times events, whilst others are even saying that it could even be the ushering in of the return of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I really do want us to just hold our horses for a minute and remember one thing. Jesus Christ really did warn us against date setting. And I believe there are very few things which ruin our testimony as Christians on earth than when people set dates and get them totally wrong. The Bible says, therefore you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect.